The symbiotic parasite, in a world not quite like ours. A quiet suburb held a secret beneath its serene surface. Mark, an introverted college student, stumbled upon this secret. One fateful night, Mark had always been a loner, finding solace in the isolation of his thoughts. One evening, while walking home from the campus library, he heard a faint, desperate whisper in the wind. "Help me." He looked around, confused. The whisper seemed to come from the darkness itself. Mark hesitated but then followed the sound, leading him to a secluded alleyway. There, lying on the cold pavement, was a wounded creature, unlike anything he had ever seen. It was a mix of plant and insect, its fragile form oozing a silvery substance. "Help me," the creature whispered again. Against his better judgment, Mark picked it up and carried it to his apartment. As he nursed the creature back to health, he noticed something unusual. The wounds on his hands from handling the creature seemed to heal faster than they should, and gradually, he felt a surge of newfound energy and vitality. Days turned into weeks, and the bond between Mark and the creature deepened. He named it Syl, short for symbiosis. The two were becoming one, their thoughts intertwined in a harmonious dance. Mark discovered that Syl granted him exceptional physical abilities, especially during the night. He could leap great heights and move with inhuman speed, but with power came an insatiable craving. Syl demanded sustenance, energy from other living beings. At first, Mark resisted, horrified by the thought of taking lives. But as his connection with Syl grew stronger, his morality blurred. He found himself stalking the streets, drawn to the life force of unsuspecting individuals. The local news buzzed with reports of inexplicable disappearances. Fear gripped the once peaceful community. Meanwhile, Mark's appearance began to change. His eyes glowed faintly, his skin took on an otherworldly sheen, and a silver substance oozed from his pores. One night, as Mark stood on a rooftop surveying the city, a voice within him grew stronger, Syl's voice. It urged him to embrace his newfound power fully, to transcend his humanity. The city lights seemed to dim as Mark wrestled with his inner turmoil. Then, a familiar voice broke through the haze. It was his childhood friend, Lynn. She had followed the trail of disappearances to Mark's apartment. Her voice triggered a memory of the person he used to be before. The darkness took hold. Mark fought back against Syl's control, struggling to regain his humanity. The internal battle raged, culminating in a climactic struggle atop a towering building. In a final act of will, Mark severed the symbiotic connection, choosing his friend and his humanity over the power he had gained. As the connection broke, Syl's form disintegrated, leaving only a silver residue. Mark collapsed, exhausted and battered, but free. The darkness receded from his eyes, and he embraced Lily, grateful for her intervention. The city slowly healed from its wounds, and Mark returned to a life of normalcy. But the memory of the symbiotic parasite and the darkness it brought lingered as a reminder of the fragile boundary between power and morality.